The slow day, the calm, and the night will unfold. I never thought that I would be traveling this road. People keeps missing, the clouds seem to fade. And every occasion I whisper your name. I'm happy to hear that you'll still be around. I thought you were leaving without a sound. In my little world you are both pros and cons. It's hard to admit when you feel you don't belong. So tell me, are you still in there? As beautiful as you are, you just don't know how far. In this world I'll be right by your side with arms. Even if you don't want, you wrote your name in my heart. You're out where you're laughing, the curls in your hair. There's a star, oh have me as a reminder when it stings. When you're busy growing up, know that I'm right here. But everything is messed up and it feels like no one cares. Turn this way. My dear, we will steer you through the ionosphere. Way up high, where the rainbow sets sighs. That's where courage lies. When you're busy growing up, know that I'm right here. Busy growing up, know that I'm right here. But everything is messed up and it feels like no one cares. When you're busy growing up, know that I'm right here. But everything is messed up and it feels like no one cares. Turn this way.
sweet.